What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about Fortnite Chapter 2 Remix's Eminem update. As always, if you guys do find this video to be helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of the changes in today's update. So, obviously, as I already said, this update is Eminem themed, and kind of from the trailer and leaks, we already knew that Eminem would have a POI on this map, and it would actually be his version of the Grotto POI. This is in between Retail Row and Dirty Docks, and instead of just being a one-to-one recreation of Grotto, it's now a Mom's Spaghetti themed restaurant. If you know the lyrics, I'm surprised there's a restaurant for that, but yeah, the POI is the Mom's Spaghetti Grotto, and it's basically like a restaurant in there. Inside the POI, you'll find guards, a lot of the faction agency chests, and then also the Eminem boss that will drop a mythic minigun and a keycard to the vault when he's eliminated. And then, like the other vaults, you will find a lot of agency chests and rare chests in here, which should give you pretty solid weapons, but also a lot of heals and utility, which is really, really nice in this season. If you aren't already familiar with the minigun, it's a weapon that has a really solid fire rate. It doesn't get first shot accuracy, though, and it does have, like, not the most bloom, but a decent amount of bloom. Mid-ish damage, but like I said, it has a really, really solid fire rate, and it has good continuous fire because instead of having a magazine that you need to reload, it just pulls ammo from your reserve light ammo. There's no need to reload it at all. It can eventually overheat, but this mythic, I believe, takes around 12 seconds of continuous fire before it overheats, so you can shoot this weapon for a long time before it actually overheats. Like, if you're able to shoot that long, like, I don't know what's going on, but more often than not, you're not going to be able to shoot that long anyways. This weapon is really good at applying pressure. It also is really good at damaging vehicles. In build mode, it's incredible at, like, frying structures and builds. A lot of time when the minigun was in the game, especially in competitive, people would want to, like, get high ground and then just spray down with the minigun. And it does that very well. A lot of people really like the minigun, and I typically haven't had as high of an opinion on this weapon as the rest of the player base. Like, it's just never been a weapon I really cared for. All the way back to, like, February 2018 when it was initially added, I didn't really care for it or enjoy it as much as other people, but it is definitely good. Like, it is a solid weapon. It didn't feel bad to use at all. I just don't really know if I want to carry this because, like, what am I going to drop for it? I don't like replacing my AR for the minigun. It can do that, but, like, I just never like doing that. So for me, it's going to kind of go in that third weapon slot, like the power weapon slot. And it's like, I would probably rather have a sniper over this. I'd probably rather have an RPG. I'd probably rather have boogie bombs. And I definitely would rather have TNTina's bow. So it's like the minigun is very good and it's definitely a powerful weapon. But I just don't really feel that motivated to use it this season because there is other things that I would rather use. But if you're someone who maybe doesn't like those other things as much, you just enjoy the Grotto POI, or you really like the minigun, it's definitely solid. And I don't think that it's like you can't use it or you have to use those other things. It just really comes down to preference. Another thing that is going to come down to preference is that this weapon actually plays Eminem lyrics when you shoot it. Like, you hear him rapping. A lot of people like this and think it's, like, funny. But I've also seen a lot of people say it's annoying and they don't like it. But you can actually turn this off with the licensed audio setting in the audio section of the settings. So if you go into that audio and just hit mute all, you will not hear him rapping anymore. So if you really dislike that but you like the gun, that is one way you can kind of get around that aspect, which I think is very good for people who were annoyed by it. Another addition in this update is going to be that the Choppa helicopters were added back. I saw a lot of people today confused with this because they were in at the start of the season and then taken out, and now they're back. They weren't supposed to be in yet at the start of the season. It was kind of meant to be something for today's update. And at the launch of the season, they were only actually available at one helipad at the weather station. But there's now several helipads around the map, especially at, like, the boss locations. So if you do want to get a helicopter, you're probably going to want to land at one of the boss locations or the weather station. But like I said, it wasn't supposed to be in initially, and it was only in one spot, but now it's in all the helipads and it's actually in the core loot pool. I think the helicopter is good, but with the fact that flying cars are a part of the game, I'm not really that motivated to use it or really, like, care about it. And then also there's a decent amount of rifts on the map, and that's another thing that would, like, kind of, I'd rather use the rift. So, like, Grotto, for example, landing there on the edge of the map, it's not the most appealing thing to me, and so the helicopter would be useful to kind of rotate out of there. But with how many rifts there are in the map in that area, I'm also just not that concerned about using the helicopter. But it's a good addition, and I think a lot of people will like having it. For the regular loot pool, there are also several changes today. Every rarity of the bolt action sniper was added to the loot pool. The bolt action sniper was already in the game, but only in purple and gold. Now you can find it at every rarity, and if you play the game, you're going to find it at common rarity a lot, unless Epic changes it, because I feel like everywhere I went today, there was a gray sniper. The gray sniper does headshot for 248, so the gray one isn't able to one-hit in zero build on a max HP opponent. But yeah, every rarity of the sniper is added. The suppressed SMG was added. Apparently, the grenade launcher and regular minigun were unvaulted, but I didn't see either while playing today, so I don't really know what's up with that. I did see the mythic minigun, but I didn't see the regular minigun at all. Apparently, also, the bandage bazooka and the cardboard box item no longer spawn in floor loot or chests, but I think they can still spawn in faction chests or something, because I was seeing the bandage bazooka, and then there are several cardboard boxes just on the map already that you can get, but you shouldn't be getting them when opening chests anymore, which is nice. Another change that I think might throw off a few people is that the AUG burst was vaulted. So at the start of the season, we had the FAMAS looking burst for white to blue, and then purple and gold, the burst would look like the AUG rifle. But the AUG was vaulted in today's update, and then now every rarity of the burst will look like the FAMAS. This doesn't really change anything at all because the weapons function the same, like the damage and everything is identical. The reason why this change happened is because there was a problem with the AUG looking purple and gold burst, where the sound on it was as if it was shooting 2 shots per burst instead of actually shooting 3 shots per burst. So it was shooting 3 bullets per burst, but the audio of the weapon was messed up, and this made it feel very slow and very clunky and just very weird to use. I'm sure if you guys used the burst, you felt like the burst delay was ridiculous, right? But that's because the delay felt like it was starting after 2 bullets happened, but in reality 3 bullets were happening. So like the delay just felt very off, and that is why they replaced the purple and gold burst with the FAMAS looking purple and gold burst. But performance wise, everything is the same. It's just a way around that audio bug that was confusing to a lot of people. Definitely to me, the AUG felt very bad to use, and I pretty much never wanted to use it because of just how off it felt, and that's mainly just because of the audio of the weapon. And then one final change I want to talk about is that chest spawn rate was increased with this update. So we should be finding more chests, which is always a great thing, especially with how much of a struggle it has been to get loot and get utility like shield and grapplers this season. Having an increased chest spawn rate is nice. I don't personally understand why the spawn rate of chests isn't just always 100. I feel like that just makes the game more fun and more enjoyable to play for sure. But, you know, an improvement is still an improvement, and the game does feel better to play. I still think if you really want to get utility and really guarantee that you're going to get utility and shield, hitting up POIs that have a lot of the faction chests, because those drop double utility slot, is still a very good play. So any of the boss POIs, the underground area, Pleasant, spots like that, having those faction chests definitely increases your odds of getting enough utility to be able to play the game. And if I am in a match where I just like can't get a grappler, usually checking the vault POIs, if there's any in, is my go-to play. But that is going to be it for this update. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the changes and what you're most excited for. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.